Yeah. You know what I love about Ecamm is that it plays my music. Yes. Everything is working. Woot woot. I appear to be live in all the right places. I'm so excited. This is the 6-day Granny Square crochet along, and I'm Betty McKnit, and I just want to say, before I say anything else, thank you to everybody who asked me, encouraged me to make a Granny Square out of the 6-day kid blanket. And for how many years I said no, I will never do it because it doesn't chevron, and I still want to make one that chevrons, and I will, but thank you, because I never would have thought to do this on my own, or I might have thought of it, but I guess there was part of me that was just like, oh, nobody will really want that, or that won't do well, or whatever. So I think from now on, I'm just going to trust more in my followers and just trust you all that you know what you want. And when you ask me for something, I'm just going to do it from now on. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to do it. So I'm here talking away. Can you all hear me? Can I be heard? I'm not getting any comments. Somebody comment so that I know you're there on Facebook and on YouTube and that you can hear me okay. Let me check this. Do I have volume? Yes. Let me just get clear off my desktop a little bit. So, great. Hi, Lorraine. You love the square. You can hear. So I released, I don't remember when that was that I released the square. Was it like a week ago or something? Hi. And so just if you're on Facebook and you comment, I can see your comment, but it's not going to tell me your name. But if you're on YouTube and you comment on YouTube, I can see your name. And if you're on TikTok, I am following you. I am, let me see, I'm broadcasting for you. I'm live for you. And I tried to set it up so that you can see me, but I can't really see I can see your comments. I'll do my best to just respond to everybody, but thank you. I saw somebody over on TikTok said that they like the colors of this blanket. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. And if I have anybody, do I have anybody moderating over there? Somebody's asking, do I wear socks? Yes, of course. My feet get cold. Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you for saying that you like these colors. Listen, a lot of the time when I'm designing something, I'm just grabbing whatever yarn I have in my stash, especially now that I live so far away from any like Michael's or Joann's or anywhere like that. I just pick something out of my stash. And often by the time I get around to using something or doing something, it's already been discontinued. So this is some old Loops and Threads stuff that was a seasonal yarn at Michael's, and I don't believe it exists anymore. So, but I posted it, and like what happens so often is I post something and you all go, oh, those are amazing colors, amazing colors. Well, this was a variegated yarn and I didn't really choose the colors. The colors were already chosen in a variegated yarn, and I liked them. And so I bought the yarn and I made this out of it. So I didn't really choose these colors, but I do love them. They are amazing. But what I did for you all was I only had 2 balls of this. So I worked up this square and that was it. There's no more. There's no more to be gotten or had. And also, let me see if I can. The first iteration of the pattern that I did had the join on the side, and you can see with this variegated yarn, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. It sticks out like a sore thumb. So, yeah, so variegated for this or cake yarn is not a really good option. And after I posted the square, several people reached out to say, listen, you really should join it at the corner. You should join it at the corner. So I didn't even know that you could do that with granny squares. I never had done that. So I did include, I was still working on the continuous blankets. So I went ahead and changed them and made them into a join at the corner. Let me just answer some questions. There is a PDF file that you can purchase. That's right. I only have it on my Shopify right now. I know that some of you like to have them in Ravelry so that you can put them in your libraries, and I'll just be 100% transparent. I had company this weekend and I was lucky to get the patterns up in time for the crochet along. But I will sometime this week get everything up on Ravelry and Etsy and all the places. So let's see, a couple other questions. Can we get a paper copy? You know, I think I answered your question. If you asked me on Facebook, I do not sell hard copies. So I don't even have a printer where I can print copies myself. So what I suggest you do is send it to Staples or FedEx Kinko's. You can send it there as a digital file and have it printed out and go pick up a copy. Or you could also take it maybe to your local library and on a thumb drive and see if they will copy it for you. But I do not sell hard copies. I'm sorry. I don't have the ability to do that. Okay, so yeah, so I switched it anyways. So if you purchased the Granny Square pattern, you should have received an updated pattern that also has the corner join. So that is an option. If you're only going, somebody else asked, can you make it into a cushion? You can take the Granny Square and you can make it into anything you want. The only thing I ask that you don't do is like write up a pattern with it. But you can take the Granny Square and you can make it into whatever you want. That is the purpose of it, is for you to take it and use your creativity. And hopefully I'll get around to making like Granny Square everything that you all can make with this. Let's see. Yes, the new copy has an update, and it just has the corner join as an addendum to it. If you are just making the 9 rounds of square, I've made a bunch of them, and the corner join is not obvious on just the 9 round square. It's when you start going into the continuous, where you have this seam going up the middle of one side, and that it becomes really obvious. So I do not think that cake yarn looks good with this. I have been cutting colors and controlling the colors so I don't have any mid-row color changes. I think the cake yarn is just better for the back and forth blankets. Let me see. Let me go back because there's a bunch of questions here. The purple one at the back is beautiful. If you mean this one right here, that's the Superstar that I did on the crochet along last week, and it's about maybe a third of the way done. Um, yes, I do. I do have a life. It's mostly crochet. Thanks to all of you. Okay, for the 6-day granny that you made is the mandala yarn. It's a 3-weight. The mandala is a 3-weight, so that finished blanket was 40 by 40, which was about baby blanket size, and it did use a lot of yarn because I cut and controlled the colors on that. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you because you all went crazy for these colors. I did go to the store and I tried to match some up for you. This is Woolies Thick and Quick. I love a chunky yarn. You all know that. But I did reach out to Lion Brand and ask for yarn, but they haven't responded to me yet, so I don't know if they actually are going to, but it would be nice if they would just give me some. But I chose their yarn anyways. Do the numbers still work for center? Yes, the numbers still work. That's a good question. So the DC3 together, those stitches in the middle of the row, they made the numbers work the same every time. So if you don't do that, you're not going to be skipping an even 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 across. You'll have to fudge. So there are people in the group that made the pattern and they did not like the DC3 together, which I don't blame you. You don't have to do it, but I actually worked up the Great Granny blanket, the big square, without it one time because I thought this is just silly. You know, we don't really need this, but my blanket started to ruffle without those stitches, and it also, the skips were not the same every time, so those DC3 togethers, they make the numbers work out the same way every time, the skips. So yeah, there's just like, I don't know, some kind of sacred geometry about the 6-day kid blanket stitches. But oh, not that. Okay, this one. So these are the 5 colors I ended up with to kind of match this. I'll try and squish them together to match this funky old thing that only they don't really have like a bright green, and they don't really have like a this tealy peacock that for me it's like the best part of this color is that I love that peacocky color. But anyways, I'm gonna go with it. It's very close. So I'm gonna work up a square and I'm gonna do the corner. I'm gonna do the corner joint for the square. And let me see. Do I have a good hook over here? This says number 6 super bulky, and it says, oh, this is P. It says it requires an N13 9mm hook. Pretty sure this is much bigger than a 9. I'm pretty sure this is a K. Hang on, I think I know which one I want. I mean, this one maybe. This one is a maybe, but I think I know which one I want. And it's in the other room. Oh no, here it is. Let's see. So now I'll have to go back and watch the video to remember what I was using on that Superstar. I've got these three. This is the end right here, this purple one. Maybe I'll start with that. Are y'all ready to make a square? So this is, I'm going to start this 6-day, which one is it? Great Granny. So it just starts with a square. So I'm going to start that tonight. And then I'll continue it tomorrow. And then, well, let me just decide what I'm doing as I'm going along, because maybe tomorrow it would be good to start the Great Granddaddy so you all can see how that starts off. Okay, is everyone ready? Let me switch this. Anyone still with me? Yep, I'm still broadcasting. Okay. Come on, give me the, here we go. Ready? Oh my goodness. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I'm getting like picture in picture in picture. Okay, that was weird. I don't know what just happened. Okay. I was just getting a weird picture where it was like showing my desktop. Okay. That's weird. Let me remove this because I think it's going to be easier to see without that there. So I'm going to start with this Woolies Thick and Quick. And the color is called Succulent. And I know, and I'm so good at it, right? As we all know. And this is an N hook. And I'm starting the 6-day Great Granny blanket. Chain 4. Whoops. And join. So I know that you all are going to want to start that with a magic loop or magic ring or whatever the heck it's called. And I don't believe that is the right way to start a blanket. I think that's good for amigurumi, but not for this. Okay, join with a slip stitch. We did that. Hello! And now I have been doing a standing double crochet for these, but you can still do chain 3 if you want to. So the way you do a standing double crochet is you pull your loop up to about the height of a double crochet, hold it with your finger, wrap both the whole loop around your hook, pull up a loop from the center, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. If I just go a little bit like that, they can see me on TikTok. Okay, so, and since this is going to be a center or a corner join, we're going to chain 3. And then we're doing 3 double crochet into the ring. 1. Ooh, this is a chubby yarn. Chubby. Hi, I'm Chubby. My name is Chubby. And I am a chubby yarn. There's a knot here. I felt it already. And then 3 Yeah, so this keeps slipping off, so I'm gonna try this big old chubby hook. Chubby yarn needs a chubby hook. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Chain 3, 3 double crochet into the center. So if you're watching this video, it will be a tutorial of sorts, but listen, folks, you can't just do my patterns just from a video because I don't say everything that there is to say. I try to go slow, but I end up going fast sometimes. And there's just a lot of information in the pattern that you need. Okay, so I'm going to finish this off by making 2 double crochet and then joining to this standing double that I started with. So just the video is just not enough. A video pattern is something, you know, like super simple with very simple stitches and lots of repetition. And I think if you're doing a 6-day project, you're probably in the somewhat designing it yourself, because right, I didn't give you any color changes. I'm just like, here's your granny square and go, you know. So you have to really be, you don't have to be an advanced crocheter, but you have to be on the level where you can, you know, like make some choices on your own, and you really need the whole pattern. Thank you, Jackie. All right, that's your first round. You should have 4 groups of 3 double crochet and 4 holes. That's round 1. Okay, round 2, I'm going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space, standing double crochet, or chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And it's probably good, I didn't say this the first time, but it's probably good to have a stitch marker at the ready and mark that. Hi everybody. I mean, there's so many different ways to do a granny square. So if you want to adjust it and do it the way you're used to doing a granny square, you can do that. I just would prefer, if you want to talk about how to like redesign some of this stuff, I would prefer that that was not done in the 6-Day Kid Blanket group, but come over into the Betty McKnitiverse, where we have a group where we're making this square into a hexagon sweater. And that was my whole reason for wanting to figure out how to make these corners in the first place. Okay, and then I'm going to 3 3 3 in every corner. So we did, well, I was talking, let me say what I did. I did a standing double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. And now I'm going to 3 3 3 in each corner. Wow, this is big. It is going to work up fast. It's going to be a blanket before we know it. And technically, if you're changing yarn, changing colors on every round. You can technically start and end the round anywhere. You don't have to start on the corner, as long as you put all the stitches in the right place. I'm on round 2. I should have brought my squares in here so I can show you the squares, the 9 round squares. You really cannot tell where they were joined. I've done a bunch of them both ways, in the corner and up the side. So who has started squares already, and what's everybody planning to do with their great granny blanket and great granddaddy blanket patterns? Okay, and then I'm going to put 2 double crochet here, and we made that slip and then the standing double, and there's just some stuff right there, and just work right over top of it. This is a giant hook. I feel like I'm splitting yarn right now. Hey Michigan, what's up? Join with a slip. Ooh, holy smokes, that's big. It's already 5 inches across. This won't take long. We'll be done by the end of the crochet along. I was thinking about changing colors, but I think I'll go one more. Now I'm going to change colors. Your blanket's lovely, Jackie. It's really beautiful. That should be fun. Oh, I'm sorry. Set up round 2. And now we jump right to round 4. Have some cupcake yarn from forever ago in colors I love. All right, let me put an actual knot on my hook. And I'm back to round 4, single crochet in the chain 3 space. And then I didn't do what I tell you all to do, which is to mark that stitch. And it should say that in the pattern, mark that stitch. So single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then single crochet across these stitches. And I remember saying it should be 6 because you're working across 2 rows of 3 clusters. And then 1, 2, 1 in the corner. And then 6 single crochet. One, 2, 1. I'm going to have to edit this video. Gosh darn it. And then 6. Sometimes when I'm working these through on these lives, I find mistakes. And I feel like no matter how much you test something, there's still always, always, always something that slips through or that gets by me. Always. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and then 6. 1. No worries, we'll see you later. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then this one that's marked, you don't make a slip stitch, you make a single crochet. Okay, that is better. And then this thing was getting in my way. That's what the problem was. Now let me find the end of this barf I made. Kathy says, this is my first experience with standing double crochet. I love it. You totally can't tell where the round starts. You really can't with the corner join. Okay, so now I'm going on to round 5, and I'm going to, so the way you start it, if you're starting a new join, is you just put a slip knot on your hook, or you just start with a loop, a back loop around your hook. And then you just go standing double crochet in the space, the chain space. Okay, and I'm going to mark it since I flubbed up before and got lost. Yeah, and thank you to the people that suggested that I started in the corner because you really can't tell. You can definitely do it either way. I don't even think the side join is that obvious if you control the color changes, even if you control them just for the first few rounds. Okay, so we have 2 and 2 over here, and so we're going to work across these 8 double crochet from the row below, or single crochet rather. So 1, I want to make sure I don't work any extra ones this time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the last one you do. You don't have to work this one down here because you worked it on the time around. So I worked into the wrong place. And then 2 in the corner. 1, 2. So that should end up being 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ding, ding, ding. And then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. and then 2 double crochet in the chain. So the side corner chain spaces are 2, 3, 2. And then you should have 8 double crochet in between them. So you end up with a total of 12 double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 double crochet. Hi, I'm looking at you, TikTok. I'm making a 6-day great granny blanket. Okay. Okay, don't forget this guy right here. 1, you should have 8 single crochet on the row below that you're working into. 3, and you all know I don't like to count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1 double crochet before the standing double in the chain space, and then join with a slip stitch. Hey Georgia, I'm excited to see your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, I did it. Woo! I'm going to do one more round, and that's going to be it for tonight. So I'll probably be working on this again tomorrow, and then once I get when I get to the end of like one complete repeat, then I'll start the other pattern off for you all. Okay, so this will be round 6. Slip stitch into the chain space, standing double crochet. I'm going to stick with this rusty orange. Rusty. And I'm gonna mark it. Chain 3. Two double crochet. one double crochet across each stitch. So we counted them before. We know there are 12 of them. Look what I did. I missed the one that I'm always telling you not to miss. Don't miss that first one. When you're working in the round, the top of the stitch is a little bit to the right of the stitch. So it's easy to miss this one right here. And that's when your square will start to twirl. How's the weather in Georgia tonight? It got super warm here. It had been cold and I closed all my windows and I had the heat on. And then just a little while ago, I was sitting here sweating and I was like, why am I sweating in this hot house with the windows closed? I went and opened all my windows. And I can hear the ocean. I don't have a stripe for this pattern, like a specific way of striping, but I noticed that I like to do the single crochet rows in a contrasting color. I like to do 2 or 3 rows of color at a time and then switch, but I've just been doing it randomly. I'm not the type of crocheter like many of you are, and I admire your organization skills, but I'm not the type to plan things out in advance so much. I just grabbed the color out of the basket on this live, but I did notice that I like to do the single crochet rounds in their own color. Woo! Shorts and a singlet top. Nice. My allergies were going a little bit crazy this morning. Lovely. Yes, it's feeling like crocheting with this extremely heavy wool in 70-degree weather feels a little crazy, but I can totally see this blanket already on one of the beds. So this is day one. I'll just say in the last 8 o'clock already, but while I'm finishing up this round, I'll just invite you to post a progress picture no matter how far you got today. I mean, look, I only got to this is round 6, and it's really only round 5 because we skipped around in the numbering. So I only got 5 rounds done. No matter what you get done, post a progress photo in our group and let us cheer you on, or make a TikTok and tag me so that I can share that for you to my following, and we can all cheer you on. 70 degrees. And there's no race to get it done in 6 days. The nice thing about these blankets, going from the center out, you can just keep going until you decide you're done. So you can make it as big as you want. And then what I'll do at the end of the 6 days, I'll give you about a week after we finish, and you can post a collage photo of your work from each day with, a picture of your work from each day. And that is the photo that enters you into, I just do like a random drawing, and I send some little goodies. If you've never received a Betty McKnit mug, 6-day blanket mug, I'll send you one of those, or some other cool thing. When I did the Star Blanket Challenge on TikTok, there were some people that wanted a free month in the Betty McKnitiverse as their prize. So I did that for a couple of people, and it's the Betty McKnitiverse is my membership community. That those people in that community had these patterns a couple weeks ago. They have things that are in development that I'm about to release, or trying to, get tested and worked up and get them released. Sometimes it takes me a long time to get samples and photography done. And while I'm trying to get all that done, I'm actually, the stitches are done and they're ready. And so that goes into the people in the Betty McKnitiverse see that while I'm still working on it. I just want to count these because I'm worried about that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, it should be 16. Okay. And then the last one goes into the space. Work right over that join with the standing. Just work over top of it. And then join. This is new to me. I didn't know that you could join your granny square in the corner. I did not know that was a thing. So thank you to the people who told me that should have been the way I did it. And at first I was like, no, it's fine. And then I was like, yeah, they're right. It is better. There we go. There are my first 6 rounds. And if you're not in the 6-Day Kid Blanket Facebook group, go join. I'll attend to all the join requests right now and post your progress photo from today. And I'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. Tomorrow, the next 2 nights, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Bye. Oh, wait. Let me see if I can figure out how to play my music. There we go. Is it playing? There we go. I did it.